A tax bill that gave 83% of the benefits to the top 1%. The worst job creation record since Herbert Hoover. Joe Biden's, under his leadership, 15 million jobs created. Republicans do. We're not for birth control, but we're for controlling women.
Nancy Pelosi went on CNN and had some brutal words for the convicted felon and his former administration that perfectly puts in picture the race that we have before us. So let's look through a few of these and just jump in with some context where is needed.
This was one of the accomplishments of his administration. What's his name? When he was there, overturning Roe v. Wade. His other big decision was a tax bill that gave 83% of the benefits to the top 1%. The worst job creation record since Herbert Hoover. At the same time, Joe Biden's, under his leadership, the public and private sector working together, 15 million jobs created. Back to the kitchen table. What's his name says Obamacare sucks. I hate using that language, but not that much. Obamacare sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It cures. And Joe Biden has taken us to a place where we have expanded subsidies to lower cost for more people, and in the IRA bill, taking the cost of insulin from $500-600 a month to $35 a month.
I don't really know what else needs to be said. I mean, she absolutely buried him there. But to put the tax cuts in perspective, the middle and lower classes at most got a couple $100s, while the top 5 and 1% got tens of thousands. Now, I'm sure that barely a month in groceries for the middle class made up for the less quality roads, the less quality schools, less money going to firefighters, public services, the things, you know, that they actually rely on, while also shooting us massively in debt, more so than Biden has, by the way. And some will try to say, well, the top percents have more money. Of course it's going to save them more. Well, okay, but the percents were also skewed to the rich. They were given larger breaks. It's not just that they have more money. They were literally given larger breaks in general. And the worst part is, after these expired in 2025, the middle and lower class brackets would have had their taxes raised. You would have been paying more in taxes than you were before the tax cuts, just to fund the permanent tax cuts for the top percents and the corporations. This was never a tax cut for the working class, and the proof is here in the pudding. And Obamacare, which by the way Trump tried to repeal during his presidency, has significantly less administrative costs than private insurance, and Biden has expanded that. For Medicare and Medicaid, the administrative cost is around 2%. For private insurances, it's 12 or 13%. And Trump wanted to give everyone private insurance. Obamacare itself also has completely curbed spending in healthcare, saving us almost $3 trillion. And Trump wanted to do away with that with no replacement in mind. He said, oh, replace it with something beautiful. Another promise that never came to fruition, while Biden again has expanded it, which included dropping drug prices across the board almost 75% and dropping insulin prices themselves from hundreds of dollars to $35.
In the 22 election, people said, oh, forget it. The Dobbs decision is in the rearview mirror. I said, no, it isn't. It's on the kitchen table. It's right there as an economic issue for people to make decisions about their families, if and when they want to have a family. It's an economic issue. It's a freedom issue. So today, as a temporal marker, 2 years since the Dobbs decision, all over the country, the Democrats are having a drumbeat of support for women, not to say we, as the Republicans do, we're not for birth control, but we're for controlling women.
According to a Tulane study, states with more restrictive abortion laws have now seen higher maternal mortality rates. Trump directly enabled this, along with children being forced to carry to term, women now fighting for contraceptive and fertilization rights. This is the crowning achievement of his administration. Keep in mind, it's all about controlling women, what they do with their bodies, and hoping that they can fall back on science as a justification when science doesn't constitute morality, doesn't dictate just or unjust, and what we should be defending is personhood, of which a mother has and a fetus does not. But as you can see, this has spilled into other areas where women now are unable to get treatment for miscarriages. They're unable to terminate or get treatment for non-viable pregnancies, and they're risking infection or death because it's not enough. They have to keep going with it. We're not allowed to do anything, so they have to flee states, which costs them more money just to do a simple procedure. It's a slippery slope of injustice. It always will be when you start removing fundamental rights away from women.